Hey everybody, it's Jim Delicali. I want to bring to you some information on the eclipses because I think they're so important right now and have been over the last 2 years that I just want to hopefully bring some awareness that maybe you didn't have or maybe nobody's talked to you about. In astrology, an eclipse is a point that always leaves you with more knowledge than you were before the event happening, and it always awakens you or illuminates something which has been hidden. That being said, most astrologers don't like dealing with it because it's such a wild energy that it's really hard to pinpoint where the concern or area of life or what exactly is going to happen to the amount or the extreme. We just got out of the Capricorn Cancer eclipses. Well, we're getting ready to get out of them. June will be our last one. And I told my group and talked to my group about with Pluto being in Capricorn and the North Node, where we allow from the perspective of astrology energy in or the awakening to happen, being in Capricorn as well, that we were going to have one heck of a time with monetary systems, governments, with any structure, with real estate, with wars, because Capricorn does rule war, military, that this was going to be one wild ride, and it was going to start out with ridiculous events from 2008 to 2010. Now, looking back, of course, there's no way anybody can say that didn't happen. With the awakening that's happened in the Capricorn, we've been now shown something which had been hidden or which maybe we couldn't have seen because we weren't ready for it. The eclipse says, all right, I think you're ready, let's go. So we've now been awakened to events and how structures have operated from 2008 to 2010. Now what we got to do is say, all right, what are we going to do with it? Eclipses come to you to show you, and then it's up to you to do something with that. And that was a North Node that was in Capricorn. That's the dragon's head, so the ancients that spoke about it, where it opened to the energies of the universe to be dumped in. And then the dragon's tail, where we release information, where we have to let go, was in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer in astrology likes to hold on to things. It's the past. It rules, kind of our understanding and where we go to be safe. And we've had to release that in the last couple of years. So what has had to been released, to help us open more to new information that's coming, and we got to move forward and change kind of the physical presence. Also, with the South Node, where we release being in Cancer, I talked a lot about food shortages. Now they start showing up on the end of this eclipse point of Cancer, more so than the beginning, but we're starting to see how foods are getting contaminated. It's expensive. We're having issues with growing. There's been storms. So, this food shortage thing's really ramping up now as we start to exit this Capricorn Cancer eclipse transit. This leads me to where the eclipses are heading. Now, eclipses move in a clockwise direction, and they always are polar opposite. It's like we put a disc or a rod through the zodiac, and both sides opposing each other deal with either information being we're being open to information, or we're needing to release information or energies, okay? So, that being said, we're going to Sagittarius, Gemini. The North Node will fall in Sagittarius, the South Node will fall in Gemini. What we can open to and where our greatest opportunities will be space exploration, how the universe works. I think UFOs are going to just continue to ramp up and be tremendous in these next 2 years. I believe our optimism has to open our ability to wander so mentally or spiritually to maybe what can be. Our telepathic ability will improve. Our ability to self-heal, our ability to communicate over long distances without maybe the computer or telephone. I think we're really going to ramp up. This is my astrological opinion of when you think of somebody, I don't care if they're a mile away, 1,000 miles away, they'll know you're thinking about them. You got to start believing more in this. We're being open to this, and we're trying to be exposed from the universe just how it works. We're going to come into some unbelievable technology, unbelievable inventions as well. So open to that which can possibly happen. There is no limitations here when we're with Sagittarius, other than the fact that you wander too much and you never figure anything out. So remember that as well. So if you're drawn to anything or believe in anything, get after it and study it, okay? Because the opportunities are here, and let's go. We need you to figure out from your perspective just what it is that's possible. We all have it within us. Nobody's born without it. Sagittarius is the expander. So let's open to it, okay? Now let's go to Gemini, where we have to release or kind of remove. Gemini is how we learn on the physical plane. So it's schooling, it's communication, it's written, verbal, and how we listen. This is more on the plane of the physical realm. My astrological opinion, or a couple things are going to have to be released. One is the computer is not going to be as informative as it has been. It's going to be limited, and by that, you take that for what you may. Maybe your service will be cut down, or you'll have to start paying for sites. It's going to really ramp up over this next year and a half, 2 years, for limiting your ability just to search what it is you want. You're also going to be careful. Disinformation or misinformation is going to be tremendous right now, because as we move and we have to remove some of this Gemini energy, this education process, what we've learned, a lot of what we've learned has not been applicable for where we're going, or it's not going to be effective for where we're headed. And so it's almost been I'm going to say by design, because I believe that they've just kept you busy. You've been kept busy by the system, and the system is now, you're exposing that, which maybe some of the education is worthless. Maybe some of what you learned is not going to even be able to be applied as you move forward. So be careful as we move forward and we educate ourselves. Go to where you're drawn and what you want to learn, and don't just follow the system here, because I think you're going to get trapped, and then they'll get you with, whether it be financial, or you'll realize that I've got an education that doesn't apply, or I can't go, and there's no real applicable area of life I can use this. So careful what you study, because this is where we need to release some of what we've learned to open to what's coming. So remember, I want to end with the Sagittarius and the possibilities. You're being awakened. Eclipse is awakening you to the possibilities of how the universe truly works. The self-healing, the long-distance communication without any physical application, the ability to tap within who you are and what you are and figure things out. You don't need a book. These are things that you know. Start getting confidence in that, because it's going to help guide you and help protect you, as well as the people that you surrounded yourself with. So we need this from everybody, from an individual perspective, to step up, and let's move. There's going to be some tremendous opportunities, some tremendous inventions, some tremendous ideas and belief systems that are going to start being downloaded and implemented from the human race. I want you to be a part of it. I'm going to be. I'm looking forward to it. So nothing's too far reaching at this point. Anything's possible. So let's go. Okay, we need you. Any questions? ypie2012.com, ypie2012.com. You can, of course, email me here. Definitely appreciate the viewership, and I hope this is beneficial to you. Thank you.